Welcome back, everyone, to brand new The Acolyte review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max, and today I'm talking about Season 1, Episode 4, the halfway point of the new Star Wars show, The Acolyte. If you're new to the channel and you like things Star Wars, but also like all things TV, movies, and box office, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. We're almost at 210 subscribers. Let's get there as quickly as possible by hitting that subscribe button and ringing that bell. That's how you get notified when all my new videos drop here on the channel. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on the halfway mark of The Acolyte? Are you hating it? Are you enjoying it? Surprisingly, let me know your thoughts. Spoiler filled in the comment section down below. I do respond to every single comment, so please comment down below and I'll respond. Have a nice, fun Star Wars, fun conversation in a respectful manner. Also, please like the video, guys. Thumbs up button down below really helps the YouTube algorithm out. So the more you guys like the videos, the more I can find new audience members to join the community. So I told you last week how I thought about episode 3, and I'm off the boat right now on the show. 4 episodes in, I'm not enjoying myself. I don't really care about what's going on, and there are some dialogue, majority screenplay, writing issues. There are performance issues, and this is turning into be for me my least favorite of the Star Wars shows. And this comes with episode 4 now. Usually, if you're new to the channel, I used to do breakdowns like scene for scene, what happened in the episode. But if you're watching this video, you know what happened in episode 4 of The Acolyte. So I just want to give my general thoughts. So when I saw that it was 34 minutes on Disney Plus before the episode started, I said, that's not good. And then I realized that without the credits, the end credits, and without the recap, the episode's really only 25, 26 minutes long. And that is just a really quick, that's like an episode of Abbott Elementary, for example, which is a show I love on ABC. It's like a network television show having go 25 minutes. Now, I've said on this channel for Star Wars, for Marvel, 30-minute episodes don't mean that you can't get enough story into those episodes. For example, I've brought this up every time as a good example. The HBO show Barry, it was a 30-minute, hard 30-minute show every single episode, and they fit a lot of characters, storylines, action scenes, all these things into 30 minutes. It can be done. Is it tough? Of course it is. But I think this was not worth 25 minutes. This episode for me was the first thing that comes to mind is boring. I was pretty much bored throughout the entire episode. And then it started getting going in that last 45 seconds when the new Sith or whoever it is shows up. And then right as the action scene starts, it's a cliffhanger setting up, you're going to get all these action scenes in the next episode. So I did not enjoy myself. I think there's a couple main problems here for the show right now. Problem number one is the twins at the moment. So May was written so far to be a way more interesting character. And because she's written that way, Stenberg's performance is a lot stronger as May than for Osha. And this episode, you could kind of feel that where you kind of wanted to focus more on May. And that's another, as I said, problem is Osha is she's the good sister. That's kind of her only character thing going on right now. She used to be a Jedi, quit, but she's the good side sister of these dyad of twins. And she's just very one note. And I just don't care about Osha at all. Throughout this entire show, they have not given me a reason why I need to be really caring for Osha other than she's the good sister. Like, come on, we got to get somewhere going. May was someone who I thought was actually written pretty consistently in the first 3 episodes. And what happens in this episode, it has to be explained in future episodes. May makes a life-changing decision so quickly. She goes into the forest to look down Kalnaka with Chimera, who's played by Manny Jacinto. And she's like, it's impossible to kill the Sith. And, you have Chimera saying, it's fine. You have to do it. You made a deal with the Sith, they keep saying he in this episode. And we get to this point where May just ties him up and says, actually, it is a big deal that Osha's alive, and I'm going to turn myself into the Jedi. The Sith won't the Jedi won't put me in prison based on what I tell them. And it just happens with a snap of the fingers. It was not an earned character switch unless May knew by saying this that the Sith would come in and kill the Jedi and make it be like, look what happened. The Jedi is dead and I didn't have to use a weapon. If they went that direction, sure, that's interesting. But right now, it looked but that's not the way May acted. Because when May went into Kalnaka's, whatever it is, his home in the woods, she did not look like she was prepared to she looked scared as she was walking in. Obviously the Kalnaka is sliced open by a lightsaber. You can tell it's a recent one because there's still smoke coming out of the Wookiee. I'm tired also of the show, setting up these interesting Jedi. You had Carrie-Anne Moss as a Jedi in episode 1, a Wookiee Jedi who we've seen in animation but not in live action before. And then before they get to do anything, they're just killed. And I know we're going to get more Kalnaka in the flashback scenes, I assume, in the next 4 weeks. But in the present timeline, they're just killing off all of the cool Jedi. Even before this, we have a whole Jedi scene on Coruscant, and we have a cameo by Ki-Adi-Mundi, who is obviously one of the original members of the Jedi Council in the prequel trilogy and Clone Wars animation. And at first, it's like, doesn't look great, first of all. But again, everyone's bringing this up. Ki-Adi-Mundi literally says in his first, I think one or his first 2 lines of dialogue in Phantom Menace, which was that the Sith haven't been around for a millennium. And here we are 100 years before the events of the Phantom Menace, which is not a millennium. And we have Ki-Adi-Mundi saying that. This is very frustrating, is what this is. This show has become more frustrating than intriguing because from a plot description perspective, it's trying to be this murder mystery. Who's behind the Sith? Are the Sith infiltrating the Jedi? All these different things. But it comes off more as frustrating and confusing than fascinating and intriguing, because I'm not excited to watch the show now every single Tuesday night. I watch it because I'm a massive Star Wars fan. This was not an IP. I mean, with shows, actually, before I even say that, but with shows, I do like to finish shows because I like to have full opinions on shows. And I don't think you give a full opinion on a show until the entire run of its episodes are out. So again, I'm saying this halfway through. The show does have 4 episodes to bring me back in and get me with a couple twists and turns. They're making Chimera a very obvious, either red herring or an obvious twist. It's obvious one of the 2 things, that he was just a character thrown in here to be a red herring, or he's the actual Sith. It was a human hand that you can see when the Sith force pushes Osha and the rest of the Jedi. I just feel like the Jedi, again, are not interesting in the show. Soul was good in the first 3 episodes. Soul, I thought, was so bad in this episode. And because he got some awful dialogue to deliver, did Lee Jung-jae. And it was, now Soul's the only character I kind of was interested in. May's kind of the only character I really do enjoy on the show. But even this week, who knows now? Because May makes a gigantic character decision that I'm not sure I believe in until they explain it. If they don't explain it, and this is just the big character switch that she's making, I'm not a big fan of this. There's some performances that are not for me in the show. They were definitely on the nose. Again, I'll come out and say this right away. As you can tell, I'm not bashing the show at all because of any of those hurtful reasons that some, not all people, have been crappy on the show for. And I'm someone who is pro pronouns and all those things, but that one scene where Osha with the not detective, but the one creature that they used to try to find Kalnaka, Basil, I think is the character's name. Hopefully it's Basil, because Osha basically goes, is it he or they? And I was like, who? I mean, just they're coming with us. I don't understand why the show had to I think the show can have messages. I'm all for that. It's just so on the nose where it just pulls you out. And that scene, I'm someone who is all for pronouns and I understand everyone's perspective on that, but it just felt such force-fed into the episode. That was not for me. And this show as a whole right now is just not for me. I had a good enough time, okay time, with the first 2 episodes. Last week made me really frustrated. I think this is probably for me the worst episode because it's 26 minutes. Nothing is interesting going on until the last 45 seconds of the episode. And then we get a cliffhanger. I literally laughed when the episode ended because I got into the episode for a split second and then it said, nope, we got to save you for next week. And I laughed. I was like, of course. The one time I got kind of interested in what was going on, we cut to credits. So this show is not doing it for me. Does not mean that it can't get me back on track with the final 4 episodes. I do want to say that I'm not just going to give up on the Acolyte. Am I enjoying myself at all watching it? No. Is it a good story right now? No. But it has time with some reveals and twists and turns that I can get on board back of the show. But right now, I'm doubting that, but I want to get back into the show and I want to love Star Wars shows. But right now, it's crazy. Star Wars is my most passionate fandom, most passionate IP. I'm addicted to Star Wars, watch the movies all the time and shows. And I'm frustrated that this is where the brand is, where there's obviously people who are not liking the show because of very hurtful reasons. And I think it's awful and they should stop doing that. But there's also a majority of people like me who just don't like the show. And that is unfortunate that it seems like the majority of fans are not enjoying the show. And, you know, Star Wars has been very divisive, but this seems the opposite in a bad way, that it is not divisive, but people are just not enjoying it. So I'll be back next Wednesday breaking down. Sorry I was a day late. I just had something to do yesterday. So sorry to keep you guys an extra day waiting for the Acolyte review. More reviews are coming to the channel, including another Acolyte review back on Wednesday.